Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And before we get started, we have to make this massive caveat. I'm obviously not at home. I'm on vacation in Portugal and we're staying in this like farmhouse. So the Wi-Fi connection is like really shady at best. So we're gonna try, hopefully the connection holds out for us. I tried to be like right next to the router. But if the connection goes in and out, I'm really, really sorry. We still wanted to get a video for you guys out because it's a massive day. So before we get started, before we talk about our teams, Yelena, how are you feeling? Like, it's deadline day. It feels weird that it's a Friday and deadline day. I don't know. It feels like we've been waiting for this day the entire summer and now it's here. And I'm still not 100% with my team.
So what's thrown me off is when we started doing those premium drafts and suddenly I really wanted Salah. And it was only until I think last night I've decided not to go for Salah. But now my biggest dilemma is my midfield. And I thought I was going to be really set. When I first did my team selection, I didn't think anything was going to change. Oh, everything's changed and I'm stressed and I don't want to make any last knee-jerk reactions. So we shall see how it goes. But I'm excited, but I am really nervous.
I know, I feel the same. Like I was tinkering with my team for like an hour or two last night, and I was bringing Salah in, taking him out, bringing him in, taking him out. And I just like just all of the team selection. I don't know. I keep like going back and forth. I do feel that I have a fairly final draft. I think that I'm set on this. I don't think that I'm going to be changing my team anymore. But let me share my screen. Oh wait, Chrome tab here. Okay, not as good of a transition as I once had, but that's okay. So I've I've really been stuck on this 3-4-3 formation. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, I might have forgotten to change your formation in the slide. Okay. Anyways, I've seen a lot of people go 3-5-2. But for me, I really like the 3-4-3. Like Nico Jackson has just like stayed in my team. I don't know if this is a mistake, especially with Nkunku being out injured for the next couple of months, but I just felt that he was so impressive. Now he's 100% going to be leading Chelsea's line. I feel like there could still be a really good link-up play with Mudryk, for example, with Madueke, Chilwell, Reece James. So he's been a mainstay in my team, maybe a little bit risky. I have Onana in goal. I was kind of going back and forth between a cheaper 4.5 option like Pickford, but at the end of the day, I decided I wanted to invest in the Manchester United defense. And worst case, I can always downgrade. My back three has stayed the same pretty much the entire summer with Gabriel, Chilwell, and Estupiñán. And the midfield is where I probably feel the most unsure. Right now I have Saka, Rashford, Eze, and Martinelli, and I think that there's just so many really good options at those price points. And I was trying to fit Salah into my team, but I just felt like I didn't have money in the bank. I didn't have any bench options, and you can see here on my bench I have Guardiol. And so I have that extra option, so I could bench somebody who doesn't have a good fixture. So I feel like I don't know, like building something in. I wanted to get City defense. He was just 5 million. I benched him because I don't think he's going to be starting this week, but I can still have City defense from the get-go. And this is basically my team. I think I'm pretty much set on it. What are your thoughts?
I really like, I know you didn't really discuss him because he's on your bench, but the Anderson pick, I think, because you were ahead of the game. You picked him. We did a team selection video. Next week, he's like the star player. I'm interested to see if he gets any starts. And I think if he does, he's going to be a really good, decent asset to have. And you would have been ahead of the game anyway. And he's cheap as well. Is he 4.5?
Yeah, I think he's 4.5.
So cheap. And it's such a good way to save money for the rest of your team. I love the Jackson punt. And I am guilty of we had a really good pre-season and I was so keen on Chelsea players. And then the minute the injury news came out, I was like, nope, I'm just going to stick with Chilwell and then work my way up. But I think that's a really, really nice front three that you've got, because you haven't had to, because I've got Pedro, Watkins and Haaland is obviously my cheaper option, whereas you haven't really had to downgrade. I think that's such a strong front three. Your midfield is really strong, and then we've all got the template defense. So, and then having another goal, at least you've got that united coverage. So I think it looks really good. It's really balanced. I
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much stuck on this. I was kind of going between Eze and Mbeumo, but I was just looking at the preseason form, and I think Eze had like 2 goals and 5 assists or something crazy like that, and Mbeumo had just the 1 goal that was a penalty, and obviously he is going to be the starting striker with Tony suspended. But I don't know. I kind of think like based off preseason form, I'm gonna go with him. Maybe the Palace side isn't necessarily as strong. I was thinking maybe do I try to get Bruno Fernandes in there, but I just felt like I would be putting too many eggs in one basket in terms of United attack, and like I already have double Arsenal attack and everything. So I think the main thing that I'm really missing here is Salah. I saw this stat that he scores on like or got like a goal contribution on every day of the opening game. Obviously, Liverpool play Chelsea. It's going to be a massive game. I feel like he tends to do well against us, but I was actually watching your team selection video where you said last season Chelsea were one of the only teams that he didn't score against. So potentially
opening 3
that could work.
fixtures. No, he didn't score against any of those teams last season, home or away, which was the thing that kind of swayed me to go against. But I think I always ignore stats like that. For this one, it works in my favour. But I am really nervous. I just really hope. I think we've got so much to prove. We've got Poch in now. It's a home game. We need to show that the team is strong. We're united. So I'm really hoping we are just absolutely on fire in the game and Salah has no chance of scoring.
Yeah, we have to do something since they've just gone and got Caicedo. At least at the time of recording this, like I don't think Chelsea are going to be putting in another bid. So it seems Caicedo is like done and dusted for Liverpool. Yeah. So we could really use something. So I think the only thing that I don't really like with my team is that it's not very easy for me to get to Salah if I wanted to, because I have so much money in my defense, and in my attack I would really have to do like maybe 3 transfers to potentially get him in. But other than that, I think that it's a pretty strong side. I tried to go with a combination of something more or less template, but with picks that I really liked, that I backed as well. So that's kind of what I turned out with. Yelena, let's take a look at your team because you have a lot of more differential picks, which I like. You haven't gone super template. So talk us through your team. And I'm also happy to see that I actually got the graphic and I changed like the text and everything. So all good.
So I put together a team on Wednesday, which was just like the template team, and there were no picks in there that I was particularly excited about, and I definitely just seen other people had picked different players, and I thought let's go with safety. So this one I tried to get a good balance between the template and some differentials. Trossard, I'm not 100% set on. I have got 2 million in the bank, so I could upgrade him to Martinelli or Odegaard. And I don't know whether last minute panic is going to kick in. But I've said it before on the stream. Like, I think even though Trossard is a minute's risk, he gets on the pitch and he will get an assist or he'll get a goal. So I don't know whether it's worth it. Nottingham Forest is the opening fixture. Trossard was the best performer out of the team in pre-season. I'm really banking on Arteta starting him. But even if he doesn't, if he comes on at like 60, 70 minutes, I can see him getting a goal. But I don't know. So I'm a bit nervous about that one. My front three, I'm quite happy with because I've seen Pedro and Watkins in so many teams. So I think at least then I won't be missing out if either of them just get an absolute massive haul. And then I've got Gibbs White on the bench, which I'm a little bit nervous about. Forest in pre-season have looked really poor, but they have got their first home fixture in game week 2, which is the one I'm kind of banking on him doing really well in. So I might have some rotation between Eze and Gibbs White, I think. But it's a team I think is fun. The defense is very template, and I've gone for Pickford mostly for the save points. I'm hoping he'll get some of those, potentially some clean sheets, but I'm not holding out too much hope. But what do you think about the Trossard situation?
Yeah, no, honestly, like I was watching your tea selection video yesterday, and I saw the Trossard pick, and I was like, "Oh, this is really interesting." So I had like transferred him into my team because he totally influenced me, and then it said, and then I was like, "Oh," like I just kind of like chickened out because I have like a couple of other options in my team that were like
Hmm.
more punty. And I didn't want to like deviate too much. So for me, Martinelli was just like a little bit of a safer pick, but I think it's really smart in terms of like the price point. And like you said, even if he is a minute's risk, even if he's not starting, like he could easily come on and get a goal and an assist. And you
Hmm.
have 2 million in the bank. So it's something that if you see that it's really not going to be working out, you can always upgrade that position as well. There's no issues with it. And I
Hmm.
really like it. I was glad to see that we both went for Eze as well because, like I've told you, I've kind of been like between Matoma and Bueno, Eze.
Hmm.
I think I voted in there at one point as well. So I really like your midfield and the attack. And I think we'll have to see with Joao Pedro like how he gets on. Maybe that's I was like considering having him in, and I think I if I had Salah, I maybe would have gone for him, but I'm
Hmm.
not like quite sure how Brighton are going to start this season, so that's why I've kind of stayed away and just had Estupinian in my team. But I really like it. I think that maybe one option could be like changing your backup goalkeeper from Areola to Turner because he's just signed
Hmm.
for Forest and he could potentially be a starting goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So I've gone for him. Like he's American, so I think I'm like a little bit biased.
I'll go to the forest side of things.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's a really strong team, and I'm really happy to see like another 3-4-3 because I feel like the template is kind of becoming 3-5-2. And the
Yeah.
problem with the midfielders, I feel like, is we just don't know which ones are going to pop off. Like I always end up wild carding super early because I'm just like, oh, I hate my team so much. But I usually only start drafting like a week before the deadline, and now I've
Hmm.
done like a month. So hopefully it's a better start for me. Are you thinking of any other potential options for captaincy at all? Would somebody be completely crazy to go for anybody other than Holland?
Absolutely not. If I think I'm just too scared if everyone captains Haaland and then I decide to take a risk, because I don't even know if Haaland's going to do that well because recently he hasn't
Yeah.
played fantastically. I watched him in the Community Shield and he didn't really have that many opportunities, but I was expecting to see a Haaland goal and be like, oh my goodness, Arsenal have no chance, but it didn't even happen. Then he got taken off early. So I feel as though I wish I was brave enough to captain someone else. I'd probably go for Rashford potentially. But no, my captaincy is staying on Haaland.
I know that's the thing. Like I kind of have been feeling the same. Like, do I just like take a risk from the beginning and maybe you could really get ahead of the pack because you think 90% of managers are going to be captaining Holland, but I just don't have the guts to do it.
Mm.
And something else that I've seen are some people considering bench boosting in week 1. Have you seen anything about that?
I have seen some. I think it's people. I'd be surprised at how many people actually do it. But my
Yeah.
first team that I put together, the biggest criticism was that the bench was too strong. So I was like, I'll bench boost in game week 1. And then I thought about it and I thought there's going to be a better opportunity to do it. But I think the bench boost this season, we're not going to have as many double game weeks as far as I'm aware
Yeah.
of. So it's going to be quite hard to decide when is a good time. But I won't be. I'd love to go in and like use my triple captain in the first game. It can be way ahead of everyone, but I'm too nervous. Would you
I
use a chip
know.
early on?
Uh, I don't think so because last year I actually did use my free hit pretty early on,
Hmm.
because there was a game week where I had like 6 or 7 players playing. So I was like, okay, let me use my free hit because I'm going to be like super far behind. It didn't
Hmm.
end up paying off. Everybody ended up using theirs in like game week late 20s, early 30s, and I was kind of like left in this predicament of not having my free hit. And the
Mm,
reason I had used it so early last season was because the prior season I had waited until like the last game week to use it. I kind of just like held on to it and then didn't end up like making the most of it. So I'm hoping I can find kind of like a Goldilocks middle ground between not holding on to it until the very last game week of the season versus playing it in like game week 7, 9. And I also think, like you said, we're not going to have so much variability in terms of the fixtures because last
mm,
season was just a bit of a mare for me in terms of navigating. Okay, we have double game weeks, so I want to get these players in, but maybe they don't necessarily fit my team 100%. And how do
yeah.
we deal with this? And I felt it like quite difficult. So I'm hoping this season is going to be like a little bit more standard in that regard as well. And let's see. I don't know. Like, let's see how I always have like a really bad start to the season, always.
Yay!
Let's see if that would change.
I'm so
But
nervous. I'm going to text you if Salah does really well and just cry. And if Martinelli does well and I don't bring him in, I won't talk to you for a week.
I know, and it's worse because we're both Chelsea fans. So Salah's going to be
Yeah.
playing against Chelsea. So if he does well, it's like double bad.
Yeah, it's going to be annoying.
Yeah, it will be annoying. But I think like these we have like pretty good teams. I think like I'm pretty much locked in. I don't think I'm going to be changing my team
Mm.
anymore. Let's see if I get like cold feet or like watching Ross's stream and he brings in Salah with like 1 minute to
Don't.
go. I'll be like
I texted him, I think it was yesterday, the day before, and I was like, I need a favour. Do I bring in Salah? And he was like, I don't know. And that was the most unhelpful thing. I'm going to be in that stream till the last minute. If he brings in Salah, I'm bringing him in.
totally, totally. You have to text me because my Wi-Fi, like my connection's gonna be so crap, like to get the video.
I'll let you
But
know.
guys, yeah. But guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. We'll be back next week. My connection will still probably be shit because I'll still be on vacation. I always plan my vacation for this week because it's like mine and my husband's birthday. So we always take off this week, but it coincides with the start of the Premier League. So it's like not ideal in terms of football, but it's ideal in terms of life. Uh, yeah, thanks so much for joining as always for co-hosting and let everybody know where they can find you.
I am on Twitter and TikTok at Yelena FPL and on YouTube as well. Just done my team selection video. So have a look at that and give me some advice.
Yeah, amazing, guys. So definitely make sure to follow Yelena while you're at it. Follow me on socials as well. I'll put all of our socials in the box down below. Hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope the quality wasn't too shit. And we'll be back next week for a team selection video with hopefully much better internet connection. Bye.
Bye.